speaking of India's external policies again, sir, I want to ask you about India's policies towards Africa in particular. How does India engage with Africa, and how is this different from how China engages Africa?
Well, as you know, that from the very beginning, after India's independence, India championed the cause of liberation of Africa, African states, from the bondage, colonial bondage, and assisted a very large number of countries. India stood for anti-apartheid. India fought for it globally, internationally, for developing world. So what we see is that in Africa, what we did was, and today, till today, our biggest assistance goes to African countries, right? So whether it is capacity building assistance, infrastructure building assistance, whether it is solar mamas or the new technologies, which are called that affordable, accessible, and available to everybody. So they like it that way. We have tried to train a very large number of 50,000 odd scholarships every year are given to African countries. So our policy basically has been, I think, rooted in the idea of share and care. What we have, let us share with our friends. It has not been demanding any reciprocity in that sense. And it's also true of our neighborhood as well. So wherever we have tried to provide assistance, most of it is on the gratis basis for most countries, training their diplomats, training their technicians, training their doctors, nurses, education, and providing them facilities for studies in India and all that. This creates a kind of a constituency for India in those countries. Of course, we have to be careful of some of the problems that they face here sometimes, so some racial slurs and all that. That should be dealt with very severely, and I would like to convey that to our society, that we must learn to adapt, because in India itself, we have the whitest to the blackest people. So the color should not be the choice for dealing with anyone in that sense of the term. So our policy is basically, but I would say that it was a policy which was assisting, but we did not seem to have a concerted, well-defined policy. It was just policy of assistance to some extent, but strategically it was not there. Why? Because I say so. Because see, the African countries, their leaders used to come to India. We thought they're coming and we're giving them something and they're going back. They also expected that your leaders should travel to those countries, but we were not reciprocating that. Pandit Nehru in 1960s was the first and the only probably leader in many countries. Nobody ever went. There were no policy. So when I think this government came, I must credit them with this, that they at least spelled out a clear foreign policy as far as Africa is concerned. So when Prime Minister Modi went to Kampala in 2017, he spoke about 10 guiding principles. Those 10 guiding principles, which we all know, apart from everything else, the essence of that is that Africa for Africans. Whatever Africans want, we will be able to help assist them if we can. It's not us telling them that this is what you need, and so we give you. So, secondly, the bigger deficit of visits, a high-level exchanges, very number of visits from the government ministers, prime minister, and everybody, ministers, they have been traveling, which is where China, had taken over from us, because we were lackadaisical in our approach. We were ad hoc in our approach to Africa, and that gap was filled by China during that period. Even though till today, I would say the grassroots level, we also have a very good, very successful diaspora in Africa, which can be the bridge for us. They've been there for a very long time. So the China in the meantime came up with this fat checkbook diplomacy within the ambit of its BRI now, and before that, just providing them all kinds of assistance, and took the lead and replaced many of the global powers from the region. And to the fact is that China's policy, I would say, in Africa is not benign in that sense of the term, even though they will call it. But China has started something which everybody else eventually aped, I would say. And this was like they had an annual summit or a summit they started in 2000 with all African leaders. So which FOCAC, they call it. Then the Japanese were doing it, the Americans are doing it, the Indians also started doing it. And we have done the India of Africa Forum Summit. And the last one, third one, we had all the African leaders and heads of state come to India, and then a plan of action was basically whether it is lines of credit, grants, scholarships, the projects. So that will all identify. There are problems, no doubt about the relationship. Africa itself is trying to find its roots. They are facing pandemic. They have faced exploitation. They are facing conflicts. They are still coming of age in that sense. But that is the next best opportunity for the world. And that's where we should be. And so we have to make a more aggressive Africa policy, more meaningful policy. We should also be very careful in what we say and what we can deliver, because there should not be a gap between your commitment and delivery. That has been one of the key downsides of our relationship. Hopefully, the government is seized with this matter and will take over. We are not a capital exporting country, but the world looks up to us because we are a democracy, we are a benign country, we have a good policy of helping others. So, but they expect you to deliver, right? The more expectations are there. So I think that today our policy, Africa policy is on the right track, but there are always scope for improvement.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.